Hi there, it's Mark from Pinner Bridge Club here. I've put together a short demonstration to show people how to deal with a situation that a lot of people are getting wrong in our weekly club game online. A lot of players are not managing to self-alert their bids correctly, or even if they know how to self-alert, they're not always making the right announcement. So I've put together a demo that shows you both how to do it and what to say in some commonly occurring situations. Now, this is all based on guidance by the English Bridge Union, and it's laid out firstly in their document, the Blue Book, which defines partnership understandings and how bids should be disclosed to the opponents, and that's further modified for playing online by the document called the Sky Blue Book. Both those documents are available to download from the English Bridge Union. They govern the regulations for how we play online bridge at any EBU affiliated clubs. Okay. This is important to get right, because if we don't get it right, it leads to problems. It leads to delays. It leads to a lot of wasted time. A lot of questions get asked in the chat. Players feel unhappy that they didn't fully understand the opponent's system. So I think just firstly, out of compliance with the regulations, but secondly, out of just courtesy to your opponents, you should try and get some few simple steps here correct, so that you self-alert your bids and people can then understand what your system is, and it just eliminates problems, it eliminates misunderstandings, eliminates bad feelings, and the whole game runs smoother. Okay, so we really want people to try and follow some of this guidance. So the first example is a hand here. I've got the south hand. It's 14 high card points. It's balanced. I'm going to open that one no trump. So my system, I play 12 to 14 point, one no trump. So I need to announce that. So I'm required to announce the strength of my one no trump opening. I have to self-alert because I'm playing on BBO. Obviously, if I open one no trump in a club, in a face-to-face bridge, my partner would announce it as 12 to 14. Here, I have to announce it as 12 to 14. Okay, so how do you do that? Well, before you make the bid, click on alert and type 12 to 14. Now just make the bid, one no trump. And it appears on screen. Only my opponents can see that. My partner can't see that box. And if that box is in the way, I can now get rid of it. That's effectively explained my one no trump bid for them. So they shouldn't really have any more questions on that. If they do, they can ask them. But I can't see that would be the case in most situations. So let's go to the North hand and see how he's going to respond to partner's one no trump opening. So North's got a good hand with some values here. He's got a 5-card spade suit. So he's going to bid. And we're going to make a bid that's very common in club bridge. I think most people know this system. We're going to transfer to show our spade suit first. Okay. So we're going to make an artificial bid of 2 hearts, which shows spades. So therefore we need to be alerting that bid. So the first thing we're going to do before we make our bid, we can bid 2, we alert, and we tell the opponents that our bid shows spades. That's all we need to say. So we now make our bid of 2 hearts. All we need to say is spades. You don't need to say transfer or anything else. Spades, because my bid of 2 hearts shows spades. That's all I'm required to say. Let's go back and see how opener responds to that. So given that, he has to complete the transfer. Bid 3 spades. That's not alerted, that's a normal bid. No reason to alert that bid. Let's go back. And partner will now show his game values and 5 cards in spades. He's offering the choice between 3 no trump and 4 spades. So he just bids 3 no trump again. A natural bid, doesn't need to be alerted. Let me go back to the south hand. And south can either pass 3 no trump and play there, or bid 4 spades, and it's up to you really. I think I'd probably play 3 no trump in a pairs competition on that hand, but equally you could very easily make a case for bidding 4 spades with a slightly different hand. Okay. This isn't a bidding masterclass, so please don't comment on the bidding. That's not what this is about. I'm trying to show how to make the alerts. So that would get passed out. Let's move on to the next example. So that's just a very simple one no trump opening and a transfer sequence. Let's do another one. Second example. South's got a terrific hand. It's 2 losers. He's 2 suited with 2 losers. that's a hand where I want to make a game forcing bid immediately, and my system allows me to do that. I'm going to open that an Akko strong 2 club bid. Okay, so I'm going to bid 2 clubs. Clearly it's artificial, it's not showing clubs, but all 2 level bids should be alerted anyway. So we're going to do that now. Okay, so we're going to click. So I'm going to click on the alert, and I'm going to explain what my 2 club bids means to my partner. And my 2 club bid to my partner means I've either got 23 plus balanced or any game force. Now he doesn't know which of those it will be, and he won't know until the auction proceeds, and likewise the opponents won't know until the auction proceeds. But what I'm alerting here is I'm telling the opponents what the 2 club bid is understood to be by my partner. I'm not telling them what the 2 club bid is actually showing in my hand. That's not the idea of alerting. What you have to show is what the system agreement means that your partner would understand your bid to be. Okay, so I'm now going to bid 2 clubs. Get a pass there. And North's going to respond to 2 clubs. He's got a very weak hand, so the standard response to that is to bid 2 diamonds, which is a negative. Some players would play 2 diamonds as a relay. Either way, it needs to be alerted to explain what the 2 diamonds means. So I'm going to bid 2 diamonds, but because it's an artificial bid, I need to alert it. So I'm going to say 2 diamonds. I'm going to click on alert, and I'm going to write negative. If I was playing it as a relay, if my partner understood that it could be a strong hand and I was just relaying, I would type relay instead. But I'm going to play that my 2 diamond response here just shows negative values, fewer than say 7 high card points, no ace or no, a hand without say an ace and a king. Okay, 2 diamonds. That's my negative response. I can get rid of the box if I want. Okay, the opponents can still see it until they click on it. Let's go back to opener. Now opener's now going to start to bid his suits, so I'm going to bid 2 spades, which is natural. It just shows long spades, doesn't need to be alerted. If I get a chance, if partner bids again, if partner bids 2 no trump, which would deny support for spades, I would then show my hearts as well, both of which would be natural bids. So from now on, this is very much a natural bid, so just bid 2 spades. If the opponents wanted to know more about that 2 spade bid, they could click on it and I could explain that it's showing at least 5 cards in spades. Let's go back to North. So North now knows we're in a game forcing situation because that's 2 club. Once we've opened 2 clubs and we rebid in a suit, we are forcing to game. He's got support for that suit, but he's got nothing to spare, so he's just keen to jump straight to 4 spades, which is a natural bid, just telling partner, I like your spades, but I'm not interested in any more. I've got nothing else to tell you. Okay, so that's a natural bid, doesn't need to be alerted. Okay, South would now still like to go on. He's only got 2 losers. He's hoping that maybe if North holds the ace of clubs, for example, then there could be a grand slam on even here. So so he's going to bid. Let's assume there might be more scientific ways to bid this, but I'm going to assume that we bid Blackwood here. So we're going to use obviously I'm going to assume that with my partner I'm playing Roman keycard Blackwood. So I'm going to explain my bid as asking for key cards. Okay, I could put Roman keycard Blackwood. I think most people would know what that means as well. All right. Now I don't need to tell them which version of Roman keycard we're playing because it's not relevant. My bid of 4 no trumps says how many key cards have you got, partner. It doesn't matter whether we play 30, 41 or 41, 30. My bid means how many key cards have you got. That's all it means. Okay. This is an area where the opponents often jump in and start asking for explanations. They shouldn't be doing that here. As long as I've explained that my bid's asking for key cards, it's the response that they might want to understand better, and we'll show that. Okay, so let's go and see what the response is. And the response, clearly, we've got no key cards at all here. So in the version of Roman keycard Blackwood, I'm assuming we're playing here, we're playing 30, 41. So the right bid would be 5 clubs, which would show 0 or 3 key cards. I'm going to click on alert because it's an artificial bid. And I'm going to type 0 or 3 key cards. going to bid 5 clubs. And now the opponents fully understand what our blackwood sequence means, and they don't have to keep clicking away to find out who's playing what version of it, because the 5 clubs is showing 0 or 3 key cards. Okay. I'm going to go back to the south hand, and let's just assume that south still fancies his chances in 6 spades, bids 6 spades, and that let's just assume that gets passed out. Okay. Now, one thing you might have noticed is that, unlike in face-to-face bridge, you are required on online bridge to continue to alert your bids over and above the level of 3 no trump. So normally in a face-to-face situation in a club, we wouldn't alert blackwood, we wouldn't alert the responses to blackwood, because there's far too much chance of misinformation between the partners, between the partnership, if they start explaining their bids or announcing each other's bids. So, but when you're playing online, there's no chance of misinformation if you follow these guidelines and alert in this way, because your partner doesn't know what your explanations are. So if you have got a bidding misunderstanding and he thinks you're playing 41-30 and you're playing 30-41, well, that's tough, and you won't find out, and you shouldn't find out anyway. But in a club situation, sometimes that becomes evident, and there could be unauthorized information passed between the players there, which they shouldn't, of course, be using. Okay, let's go to the next hand, final example. So here's another situation. South's got a very nice hand. It's 19 high card points. But I'm actually thinking it's such a good 19 high card points here that I'm going to open it 2 no trumps. So again, all 2 level bids should be self-alerted. So I'm going to alert it. Now, our system says that at 2 no trumps means 20 to 22 high card points. Okay. Now, actually, of course, I've only got 19 high card points, but I'm upgrading this hand. It's got good sequences and it's got 10s as well that are worth something. So the alert tells the opponents what my partner would understand my bid to mean. My partner would expect me to have 20 to 22 high card points. I've actually only got 19 high card points and I've upgraded, but that's totally allowable. The alert is telling you not what's in my hand, but what partner will understand my bid to mean. That's the important thing here. Okay, so I'm now going to bid 2 no trump, and that gets announced as 20 to 22. We're going to do a pass there, and we'll go and see how the response is. So partner can see opposite and assume 20 points. There's definitely a slam on here. It might even have been a grand slam on if it was facing 22. But let's look for it. Let's firstly just play 3 clubs. Let's investigate a major suit fit. So let's just assume we're going to bid 3 clubs, which is Stayman. That should be announced. Okay, Stayman over 1 no trump or over 2 no trump should be self-alerted. Okay, because it's a conventional bid. So I'm going to type in Stayman. It's just normal Stayman. I'm not playing puppet Stayman here. Click on the alert, so that comes up. 3 clubs. So 3 clubs is just Stayman. Next player is going to pass. Back to the south hand. He's going to bid 3 diamonds, which is artificial, but that doesn't have to be alerted. That's accepted that that's such a common bid that everybody would understand that. West is going to pass. And for the sake of the demonstration, I'm just going to assume that North jumps straight to 6 no trump. Potentially there's probably 7 on here, but we're not going to bother investigating that. Just assume that that's how it's bid. As I say, it's not a bidding masterclass. It's a demonstration in alerting. So that's how we do that. That would get passed out. There's no more alertable bids there. So just wanted to show a few examples of how we should do this. People in general aren't getting this right, but if you take a bit of time to follow these principles, our games will run a lot smoother. And you're being much more courteous to your opponents by announcing and explaining your bids properly. So I hope that's clear. I hope everyone can follow it. Please give me any questions if things aren't clear or you need any help with anything. And thanks for watching. Okay.